Alright, let's check out this Save Us from the Male Gaze video by Critical Drinker. So I believe this is about how Scarlett Johansson said that, is it weird that I call her Scarlett instead of Scarlett? Anyway, that she's not really happy about the male gaze and things like that, and I'm guessing he's gonna say that it's hypocritical of her to say that because she has chosen roles herself that uh place interest with the male gaze. So it's just because she's been like uh in Hollywood movies where she's dressed in a really sexual way, and so that her choosing those roles and then complaining about it is sort of strange and hypocritical, right? Because those roles uh, would entice the male gaze, so it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, let's see.
Ugh, another day, another dumb take from an out-of-touch Hollywood celebrity. In this case, Scarlett Johansson, who's currently on the promo trail for
Johansson, that's his accent there is really interesting. Johansson. Okay.
Jurassic World Afterbirth, and probably praying to whatever demonic entity the good folks of Tinseltown worship that this movie isn't going to be the cinematic disaster that the reviews have painted it as. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna watch that. I think I didn't see the video, but Jeremy Johns, I think probably gave a negative review because of the thumbnail. He looks disappointed in the thumbnail, so I don't, I'm not gonna see it.
Oh dear. Don't worry though, I'll be reviewing that film soon enough. Believe that. Anyway, a couple of days ago, Miss Johansson took some time out of her busy schedule to do an interview with the Times of London, where she offered up her thoughts on the current state of Hollywood and one of her favourite subjects these days, the dreaded male gaze.
Oh my God!
When I was younger, a lot of roles I was offered or I went for had their ambitions or character arcs revolving around their own desirability, or the male gaze, or a male-centered story. That's less frequent though. Something has shifted. Oh boy, you're not kidding, Scarlett. Something has indeed shifted in Hollywood, but probably not in the way you think. Now, this isn't the first time she's spoken up about this kind of thing. In fact, she's been banging on about it for a couple of years now, funnily enough as that big 4-0 loomed ever closer, just like in this interview from back in 2022 where she explains, I kind of became objectified and pigeonholed in this way where I felt like I wasn't getting offers for work for things that I wanted to do. I remember thinking to myself, I think people think I'm 40 years old. It somehow stopped being something that was desirable and something that I was fighting against.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Oh, really? Please tell us more about how you resented all those high-profile roles that literally made your career and kept it afloat for the past 2 decades, or how uncomfortable you were with all those multi-million-dollar paychecks. Truly, it must have been a real nightmare for you, Scarlett. I don't know how you coped.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Not to impugn her acting ability or anything, but do you really think she would have had the career she's had if she looked like this? It all kind of strikes me as the Hollywood equivalent of the old "you can't fire me, I quit" argument, trying to get ahead of something that's inevitably gonna happen anyway by reframing it as some brave self-sacrificing decision on your own part. No, you see, it's not like all those juicy high-profile roles are now being offered to younger and hotter actresses, and I'm kind of yesterday's news now. I'm choosing to take on more mature and interesting parts, because I'm more than just eye candy for sweaty teenage boys nowadays. You know, it's
That's the movie where she was basically fully naked, and so she was okay with that then, and so it just seems like complaining about it now. It's nonsensical.
actually an interesting pattern of behaviour in these 40-something actresses who all mysteriously get tired of the male gaze just as the male gaze is about to get
But I haven't seen that film, so I don't know what the context is. It's like some kind of like alien or robot thing. I don't know.
tired of them. The thing is, I kind of agree with her, at least in principle here. I agree that it's bad for any actor to be typecast and pigeonholed into certain roles when they want to broaden their creative range, but what can I say?
It's Hollywood, baby.
It's an industry based around pattern
Yeah.
recognition and branding, selling actors like they're commodities, and it's not a uniquely female problem in the slightest. Take Hugh Grant, for example. That guy had to labour away for most of his career playing foppish, bumbling British guys in tedious romantic comedies because that's what people knew him for, and it's only now in his 60s that he's finally able to branch out into more challenging roles. Matthew McConaughey suffered from the same problem, trapped in rom-com purgatory for more than a decade before escaping into more mature roles in his 40s and 50s. Or how about all those action stars from the 80s and 90s who tried and failed to transition into other genres, only to fade out completely in the 2000s when they
Yeah, so it happens to male actors as well, it's not just female actors.
aged out of their roles. The sad reality is that most actors end up being known for something that ends up defining the course of their careers, whether it's charming good looks, a flair for comedy, big muscles, or just being really attractive, I guess. It's not a good or a bad thing, it's just the way the world works. The Scarlett Johansson from 10 or 15 years ago understood this perfectly well because she reaped the rewards of being beautiful and getting lots of opportunities that other, less attractive actresses probably got passed over for. Do you think all those young, aspiring stars felt bad for you, or do you think they ended up staring long and hard at their own reflections, cursing the fact that in the great genetic lottery, you just so happen to have better luck than them? Do you think they feel bad for you now as you approach the end of this particular phase of a career that they never even got a chance to experience? But okay, let's move past the angst of a fading star facing up to the unrelenting march of time and ask ourselves, is the male gaze really a thing in movies? Or is it just a case of Hollywood understanding their audience and giving them what they want? Because here's another uncomfortable truth for you. Us humans enjoy looking at attractive people. It's crazy, I know, but there's a reason why the biggest and most successful movie stars throughout history tend to have been easy on the eye. It's because we're attracted to them, whether we want to admit it or not. There's a reason why male and female stars work so hard to stay in shape. We like looking at all those tanned, sculpted bodies. It makes us feel good. It's aspirational. Is it realistic? Not really, but deep down we don't really want it to be. Reality is beer guts and unwanted body hair and disappointingly pale, sagging flesh. If we want to look at shit like that, we only have to look in the mirror. And like I said earlier, wanting to look at attractive people on screen isn't a uniquely male trait, and if anything, it seems to be skewing in the opposite direction nowadays. Ever noticed in the Marvel films how the ladies' outfits have gradually become more padded, bulky, and concealing like it's the fucking 19th century again, while every male actor is still expected to do the obligatory shirtless scene? I'll tell you why. It's because every straight woman in the Western Hemisphere has probably rubbed one out to shirtless Hemsworth. We all know it happens, and we all know the female gaze is something that Hollywood absolutely caters to, and has for a very long time. But have you ever stopped to think for 1 second how much work and sacrifice and dedication it takes to get that kind of physique? Because trust me, whatever diets and exercise plans the ladies go on to stay trim, it absolutely pales in comparison to what these guys have to put their bodies through. Hugh Jackman famously revealed that he has to know the exact date of his shirtless scenes 6 months in advance so he can get into peak shape. What you're seeing in those few seconds on screen is basically the end result of an extremely long and punishing bodybuilding regime. And as anyone who's tried something like that can tell you, it is not fucking fun. But does anyone complain about it? Not really. There's no outrage, no accusations of exploitation, no complaints about the female gaze. They just kind of get on with it because they know it's expected of them. So I guess what I'm trying to say with all of this is that generally, being a movie star means you're in the business of looking good, whether you want to or not. It's not really about a male gaze or a female gaze, it's a human gaze. We like beautiful people, and if you're lucky enough to be one and reap the rewards and opportunities that come with it, well, maybe don't expect the rest of us to feel too sorry for you when it's all over. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Alright. Yeah, I agree with him. And I was just curious what his take on this was, and I thought it would be fun to react. Anyway, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add. I understand the main point that he's going for, and yeah, I can see where he's coming from. And yeah, I already said what I needed to say. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.